Chaffin is on the speedway. Problems right there for the number 64 of Dale Shaw, the driver from Maine and New Hampshire. And another car, Adam Petty, now up in the wall in turn number 1. So 2 cars involved here. There you see Dale Shaw on lap number 6. And up against the wall in turn number 1, right there at the top of the banking, you see Adam Petty's machine. So caution is on the speedway for the first time today.
See Adam Petty getting ready to crawl out of the car right there, and you can see the fluid running from out of the front end of it. He's got some radiator damage there. That looks to be water is pouring across the racetrack. So unfortunately for Adam, he's had an early exit again.
And that's not good in the Rookie of the Year battle, because he came in second in Rookie of the Year points, but already 114 behind Tony Raines. And we're early, and Raines is still running. Oh, you ride with Matt Kenseth. We have problems in turn 2. There is one machine up against the wall, Chad Chaffin, the Tennessee native, and Dick Trickle does beat Grubb back to the line. So Dick Trickle takes over the race lead at lap number 16 at the same moment that Chad Chaffin spun. And there's Mike McLaughlin now with problems coming out of turn number 4. So Mike McLaughlin spins the Gould's pump machine. Typical South Boston.
Well, it is, Eli. You know, Chad Chaffin started in 19th and McLaughlin started in 22nd. I don't know if Mike had gotten by, but you can see the rear TV panel, as we call it, is off the car, or hanging off the car. Look at the front end damage on Chad Chaffin here. So we're going to get a look at this. Maybe we can see exactly what happened.
Now let's take a look as they went off into the corner. Chaffin, the 84, just got wide, and the 12-degree banking wasn't going to hold him.
And you saw Mike McLaughlin turned real hard to try to miss him and just clipped him with the right rear, ripped that TV panel off, and then he went on down in the corner and spun out again. Back
down to the pit lane, Mike Hogwood.
Chad Chaffin just told his crew, Eli, that he got in the stay dry that was in turn 1. They put down when Adam Petty lost fluids from his car. Says he got in that stay dry and just lost the race car. He's coming in the pits.
There you see Chad Chaffin making a stop at lap number 17. Mike McLaughlin also leaving the pit lane. Steve Burns, how significant the damage to Mike's car?
Well, heavy sheet metal damage, Eli. Don't know if it did any damage to the chassis or the way that car would steer, but lots of sheet metal taken away, and Mike McLaughlin is going to come back on the pit road again.
I don't care if you're at a Bristol or anywhere. If you're doing a lap in 15 seconds, Glenn, there's no time to react, really.
Oh, no, there's not. And you saw exactly what happened to Mike when he just turned the wheel pretty hard to try to miss that. The one thing that they've got to be concerned about, and they're doing it right now, changing that right rear, is cutting that right rear tire to get the sheet metal in on it right there. The other thing is he hit pretty hard there. He could have hit the right rear wheel against that car, could have bent the rear axle. So he won't know if that's a problem until we go back to green.
John Bodine looking inside and outside. One car, Randy LaJoie. Problems, and there you see Randy bailing from our onboard cameras.
And there was some flames coming out of that car. Randy wasted no time getting out.
Interestingly, there is no caution being displayed yet.
You see him raise the hood there. They're extinguishing the fire. That car is sitting right at the entrance of pit road.
And now, now caution is out.
Has to. Boy, that car is in a dangerous position. Of course, NASCAR was waiting to see if maybe Randy was going to be able to get the car, maybe the crew could get the car on out of the way. But with the fire there, like anybody else, they didn't want to go near it.
Well, you know, the folks at Bob Evans Restaurants always recommend you get your hamburgers well done. This time, regretfully, the car seems to be well done, though Randy, it seems, is also just fine. But you can tell, says, I have no idea what happened. Scary time for Randy LaJoie. 25 laps complete. This is already our 3rd caution of the day. There is Randy LaJoie. He's going to continue racing. But what a scary moment for him just a short while ago. Watch this, folks. Imagine that you're behind the wheel, and this is what you see.
God, wow. That's the worst thing you want to see. We're in the green limit. How did Randy know it was going to flame up just when he stopped, man?
Back to green. LaJoie is running 5 laps down. Chad Chaffin is running 3 laps down. Everybody else on the lead lap. Oh, right behind him, you see the spins. Spins going off into the corner. Chuck Bown is in the 63. The Lysol car is Elton Sawyer. And on the inside, the 00, Larry Pearson. You've had Jeff Fuller involved. fourth caution of the day. We're at lap number 32. Heck, I think Sunrise Semester might follow this race at this point. 4 cautions in 32 laps.
All those guys, you see the damage to Chuck Bown there on the right front and all went down the right side of the car at the number there. Messed up his tiger stripes a little bit. Elton Sawyer coming up. He's got damage to the left rear.
Larry Pearson was in it.
Right, Larry Pearson, the 00. But all those cars were able to get going again and did not lose a lap. There you see it. Pearson spins down to the inside. A little bit of contact from Elton Sawyer into the wall there. You see a little bit of damage to the back of Chuck Bown there, but all cars are able to continue. And as I said, stayed on the lead lap. Dick Trickle was coming up on him right about now, and he slowed down. The leader of the race slowed down to allow those guys to stay in the lead lap.
These are the best drivers in the business, but a tough old racetrack, South Boston is. Pit stops taking place now for Tom Hubert, who's driving Dave Blaney's car. Elton Sawyer is in. Meanwhile, Randy LaJoie is out running, we told you, in the 1 car. He's 5 laps down. Steve, what brought up that fire that we saw?
Just talked to his crew chief, Mark Reno, Eli. He said a plug came out of the carburetor. They had a spare one at the ready, but they did not change it. Randy hopped right back in. They got everything bolted back in place, and he's back on the racetrack. And Glenn should also tell you that Mike McLaughlin, the 34, he does have a bent wheel at the very least, and they're concerned about the rear end housing as well.
Yeah, the one thing about it, this racetrack, you have to turn the car so hard through these tight corners that anytime you have anything at all like that, it really is noticeable. It really upsets the way the car drives. And I tell you, Mike's going to have his hands full until he can get that changed.
Under caution here at the South Boston Speedway in Virginia, just as we broke away, that man, Phillip Morris in the 01, and Wayne Grubb, they got together between turns 1 and 2. There you see Grubb making an unscheduled stop as the field gets the 1 to go signal. We'll be going racing in just another 4/10 of a mile. Don't know if we can see the whole incident up there in the corner, but the cars broke free.
You see Grubb got up into the wall and looked like Phillip Morris checked up. You see Randy LaJoie coming by here right now. He's maybe going to give us a little better look at it, or at least what it looks like when he came by.
Going into turn 1, and there you see ahead of them the cars spinning.
Yeah, Phillip Morris, the 01 car, just got on the brakes to try to miss Grubb and spun his car around.
So caution wrapping up for the 5th time as we are set to go back to green. Dick Trickle is the leader.